Hello, hello, everyone. I love our little intro that we do,
Me
the
too.
countdown. This is
No.
hacks, tips, and tricks for realtors or real estate agents. I'm Hallie McCrory. I'm in San Angelo, Texas, and now also in Dallas, Texas area,
Yay.
DFW Metroplex. And I've got my lovely co-host Casey Stiers on from Raleigh, North Carolina, but she works all over the state of North Carolina, especially the beaches, Wilmington.
Yes.
I
Now
know.
we have somebody in Destin, so.
Yes, yeah. Now we've got someone in Destin too. I love it. So normally we have, if you guys watch our show, or if this is your, this is your first time, we normally bring guests on, but this week we wanted to do just us, and talking about social selling and what that, I don't know, kind of some hacks, tips, and tricks behind that. Casey, did you have any other announcements before we get started?
Not right now. No.
Okay.
Ready to do this.
We've got our purses
Yes.
secured. Casey lost her purse the
Yes.
other week,
And
and
it was returned.
it was
By
returned.
a nice girl. So, yeah.
We like totally
An
announced
hour
it
after I canceled everything. It was great. So,
Okay, wait. Can I reverse that cancellation, please?
I know, right?
Love
But
it.
we're still waiting on our cards. I actually called the bank today, and they said that they actually mailed them on Friday.
Nice.
So,
I had to just do the same thing actually. I finally 14 months later after getting married, I finally changed my name.
mhm.
So yeah, just did that with the banks and yeah, officially a McCrory, no longer a Beeler. Well, I guess I kept Beeler as my middle name, but
Yes.
just special.
Ooh, and our new bar, we got the license and everything came in the mail on Friday. So it looks like we're gonna be able to do soft opening this week in
Yay, I love it.
Raleigh, 40743 Glenwood.
Okay, we'll talk about that because I wanted to talk about that, how you kind of incorporate that with your real estate stuff too.
Mm,
So I guess for those of you who don't know what social selling means, I kind of think of it as if you're thinking about like lead generation, there's kind of an old school way and a newer school way. And I think of social selling as kind of the newer way. The old school way, I feel like, and old school versus new school, there's nothing wrong with either. It
mm-mm.
just totally depends on who you are. Like Haas Pratt, for example, Casey's mentor and sponsor with EXP. He's the listing boss. If you don't know him, you need to look him up and get his book.
Need to get the norm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a whole other show.
so,
But he's like very much the old school. So like door knocking, cold calling, cold emailing, like you reaching out to to a
you're
potential
physically reaching out to them, making that
buyer seller. Yeah, like direct mail,
building that.
things like that.
If you look at my YouTube page too, I'll
Why
I
don't you
think
put it
it
in the
live on there as well, but
yeah. Do you want to put it in the
yeah, I'll figure out how to do that. There's some clips from when Haas came and did a thing here, and he dives deeper into it. You could
yeah,
listen to them, and he tells you just little tricks and hacks. It's like little blurbs, shorts,
yeah,
but it goes a long ways. And James had taken them apart and put them together on YouTube.
love it. Hi Lolita. She said hello, ladies.
No,
Yeah, why don't you drop your that
I'll lose
link?
y'all. I'll come back on because there's a good chance I'll click something and I'll go away.
Okay.
So,
And then the new school kind of way, what we're talking about, social selling, that's going to be
YouTube.
putting like stuff out, like content out to draw people towards you. Or
Yes.
I even think of it, I mean, it doesn't have to be just social media, but like big thing for me, and I know for Casey too, is like actually getting involved with things in the community and, then like kind of interweaving real estate into your, your everyday conversations. I mean, that just happens naturally. Like we all talk about what we do for work and whatnot. So
Yes.
um, it's more about bringing or attracting clients to you versus the outreach. And, it kind of crosses over between each other depending on what you're doing. But I feel like Casey and I are very much on the new school side.
We work great. Yes. So I learn a lot from you,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, you too, likewise.
But as far as combining our business, like our dealership and our bars into this, that's Adam's babies. I will never once claim to. If you asked me to run a dealership, I'd be like,
No, but like for
same
example,
things with the bars. So he just ate. Let me let him out real quick.
okay. So my example for Casey, and I know this is kind of the bars deal too, but they have like a yoga, what is it? Yoga happy hour,
Yeah, we do yoga every Wednesday, and I'm just getting creative on different ways to meet people. So a lot of people think, oh, a bar, you go to get drunk, you go to just have drinks. And how you would think I would incorporate that in my real estate world is not at all how I incorporate it. I used our venue when Haas came. It was a great opportunity to advertise us, but it gave us a big spot for him to come and speak to other like-minded realtors. Yoga night. We have created a safe community. That's the best way I like to describe it. Elizabeth, our teacher, we talk about that all the time.
Mhm.
How it helped her. It's helped so many people. Like when you first move here, you don't know people. If you come on Wednesday nights we have it from 7 to 8. It's an open community. Even if you've never done yoga in your life, it's a great place to start. You've got to start somewhere. Just like
Yeah.
social media, I had to start somewhere, and that was my hardest leap coming into this because I was in the bar scenes with Adam while I was teaching school, but I had to hide it because I
Right.
didn't want my students. Now it's complete opposite, and I'm using that. But I
Yeah.
use it as deals. Like I tell people, I've done these deals for him. All these bars, those were my deals. Found them and brought them to the finish line.
Right.
So that's something I can do. If you're looking for a business aspect, and then I'm going to know the ins and outs and what you're going to need to know, and the rules and the regulations. That's
Right.
how I can help you in the commercial, where not just anybody can go sell a bar. Like
No.
there's certain rules. You've got to know capacity. A certain spot's not going to work because if you can't get enough bodies through there, it's not going to make sense for the owner. And if it's a new person that's never ran a bar, they're going to rely on you to know these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like
Even
even
for
like
restaurants.
seasoned commercial people, like, every single type of business and the needs they I guess they have or want are going to be different for each. So,
And yes, when you get your real estate license in North Carolina, I don't know if it's that way in Texas, you can do both.
yeah.
Not everybody should do both.
No. Well, no, and National Association of Realtors says you're only supposed to practice in scope of what you're like,
Yeah.
what you know. So, like,
Everybody can walk into an ice cream shop. Doesn't mean everybody should eat it.
well, we need to write that one down.
You what?
We need to write that quote down.
This is true. I mean, you lactose intolerant, probably shouldn't eat it, but you can
Yeah,
go in there.
yeah.
So
Well, I guess
that's how I tie
just
those together.
yes. Well, and I feel like my first kind of hack I wanted to talk about, which it sounds like you like this is kind of you, especially like on is it Glenwood Street or Glenwood Drive?
Glenwood, Glenwood, the entertainment district. So
Okay.
Raleigh's got different. You got the warehouse, you got the entertainment, you've got the
Mhm.
Oakwood, you got Mordecai, you've got Cameron Village, the Village District. They're all
Yeah.
kind of, and now we're adding a whole nother one where Kane's building like another like
Oh,
a soccer stadium and another venue place where people can play music. So trying to think
cool.
of things. So like an amphitheater.
Yeah. Well, I guess so, and this is like verbiage. I guess I like thought about it like this. So like when I first moved to San Angelo, um, I didn't know a lot of people. It's not where I grew up. So I felt like that was kind of like I was lacking there as a real estate agent. Like people had a leg up on me that were from here. So I was like, I'm gonna go out and just meet as many people as I can, learn everything I can about this town, so that I can catch up to these people. And um, just sometimes it's like people like to work with a fresh face anyways because they know everybody from going to high school together. So I kind of inadvertently did this, but I feel like my number one hack to social selling, and I got to
Mhm.
credit my mentor Lisa Copeland on, like, I guess, coming up with the name for it. But she said you need to go out and be the mayor of your town and act like you're running for mayor. You need to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies. And that's exactly what I did when I first moved to San Angelo. Before like 2 years before I ever met, no, 3 years before I ever met Lisa. And even, well, actually, I'll get back to another one. But yeah, it's, you got to think of yourself as like you're running for mayor, and meet as many people as you can. Um, you know, Develop relationships, get to know the businesses and entrepreneurs, people in politics within the community. Get involved in volunteering. So when I first, just like some examples, when I first moved here, I joined the junior league. So I met, and that was like my way of making good girlfriends. So like all my good girlfriends here, not all of them, but like a lot of them I met through junior league. And then just from there, just getting to meet people and talk to people. I was already passionate about volunteering. So putting myself out there and doing something I'm already passionate about, that was a way for me to show like my true authentic self. So people got to know me. And the more people, I feel like social selling is all about getting people to know you,
It
and
is.
therefore they get to like you, and then therefore they get to trust you. Wow.
Sorry, Adam walked in.
Oh, you're good. No, but I feel like that, that face to face aspect of just people really getting to know you and being able to trust you with, especially with one of their biggest purchases usually. So,
Exactly.
yeah, and that, just like that, I mean, this isn't for everybody, but, I'm very involved in nonprofits here and volunteering. And that's been my way of picking up clients. And, people always ask me like, well, what are you doing for lead generation? And I mean, it's pretty much a mix of social media and like just networking really, and
Yeah.
being consistent with what I choose to network with.
Yes.
Um,
Uh,
so I feel like my number one hack is act like you're running for the mayor of your area.
it's funny you should say that. My friends joke with me all the time. They were like, "We used to make fun of you how you would dress when we go out because they would all wear these short dresses." And if any of them are on here, they'll chime in and agree with me on this. I'd always have a dress, a blazer, and they're like, "You look like you're running for president's wife, or you're going to be the next mayor." And I was like, "Well, I'm dressing how the people I wanted to surround myself with, kind of
Yeah,
thing." And
exactly.
I felt like they made fun of me, but look where I am today, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Well, and I feel like you're like the mayor of downtown. Like, that's why we call you the downtown guru, you know?
Mhm.
Like you've branded yourself, and all the business owners around there, everything that's going
Well, I know
on.
the history, I know where it's going, I know where it started, and I know the direction it's going in, and
Yeah.
I wish Adam would have stayed in here, we could have thrown him on here, he would have killed me on that one. He would have
I'm
but
like, if Colin did it, Adam can do it.
I'm doing a YouTube on Glenwood because it is one of the streets that truly has put Raleigh on the map.
Yeah.
Charlotte has banking, and Raleigh, it has the street that has restaurants,
Hmm.
living, shopping, entertainment. It's got everything. So it's located in pretty much the heart of Raleigh.
Yeah.
So you can be at any direction, Cary, Durham, any of those
And
within.
I feel like it draws in all different types of people too.
So, and a lot of people, I feel like that YouTube video, when I put it out, it's going to make a lot of people, I hope it opens up a lot of people's eyes that see things one way,
Hmm.
and they should really look at the positive that these businesses bring to the street. They
Yeah.
look at that as noisy. So
Oh, well, if you don't like the area, you can use Casey to
I
sell.
always say, I can sell you a house in the country, no problem.
Yeah,
We've seen
exactly.
a lot of change, and I understand that it's a hard concept for a lot of people because Raleigh's old school money, Charlotte's new school money. I've said this for many years. So, and Charlotte's, I mean, they're one of the biggest I don't know if you realize that, but Charlotte is one of the
Yeah.
biggest banking cities next to
Well,
New York City.
I never well, I guess I kind of knew that from my aunt Kelly, who was in a financial advisor, but then also I guess going to Wake Forest, I had a bunch of friends in the business school who went into investment banking and stuff, and a lot of them ended up staying in Charlotte instead of going to New York because they thought it would be like at least a little bit better. I guess investment banking is a rough lifestyle, at least for a few years. So they're
Yeah.
like, well, maybe the Charlotte one, like the southern
Yeah.
capital of banking, will be a little bit better than like New York.
Yeah. And
So,
Raleigh's it's older school, but it's growing, and we've got big companies coming here. We've got Apple coming. We have Toyota. One of the biggest plants that's going to be built is going to be built outside of Sanford. Who would ever thought? But
yeah,
when we first got started, this whole thing, they when I first started real estate, Sanford, I was like, hey, that's the direction I need to go. That's the
Yeah.
direction I need to go. So.
love it. You want to talk about? Do you have like a next hack you want to talk about, or like what something you're doing with the social media?
My social media I'm doing right now, I'm focusing on the YouTube channel because it's out there. And I'm very proud. I posted a video a little bit ago and it had 256 views within under 10 minutes. I was like,
Okay, so tell us like what your topic was, and we'll kind of, like delve into why you did what you did.
yeah, I was hoping James would hop on here. He's my little guru on this thing. He's the one he's looking up certain words because there's certain words that you put in there that
Yeah,
makes it take off. And
yeah,
all about that algorithm. So but
yeah.
this one was about Rocky, and it was actually posted in the back of Adam's new bar. He's about to walk behind me. Adam, wave at everybody.
Hi, Adam.
We're trying to get you to come on here one week.
Please.
See, she said please. So he's like,
Magic word.
so and it's Rocky running in the back, and I said, do you need space? And
Yep.
then played a Zoomy song. And I feel like the song was one of the top songs that are being the Zoom Zoom song. And I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Well, and I feel okay. So, like, here's the social selling aspect. Like, you're picking something relatable.
509 views now. And I posted it an hour ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But like that's something like relatable. Like people see that you have a dog, or like, a lot of people have a dog. Like, but that's something they see and they think of their dog. They're like, oh my gosh, I need a bigger backyard for my dog. I'm gonna then that's how they'll remember you.
Yeah.
So that's their way of your way of getting people to reach out to you, like posting something relatable or something that people can, relate their own situations to.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. You've got to brand yourself. Like I always said, you've got to brand yourself. First and foremost, that's the thing you need to figure out what's going to set you apart from everybody else.
Yeah, like a lot of social selling is the long game. Like a lot of, that old school type is we're reaching out for immediate people, right? But a lot of social selling is that like large scale branding. So, you're reaching people who might not be ready to buy yet, but it's in the hopes that when they are ready to buy or sell, you're the person they immediately
I
think.
always say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And
all those immediate ones are nice.
They are, yes. But at the same time, those immediate ones, if they buy quick, you need to not forget them. Right. They need to be followed up with.
Yeah.
Because they are going to eventually want to sell, or they're going to have friends that want to sell or buy.
Right.
And a lot of my business comes from when I first started, it was getting the teacher world, because I was a kindergarten teacher for 13 years prior to doing this. So when I knew I was making that change, I made as many connections with parents and teachers that I could. And I love helping teachers because they need it more than anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, they need that extra cookie. They need that freebie. They deserve it more than me. And that was my big reason for changing. I felt like I wasn't doing enough in the teacher world. I could do something bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
It's those personal connections. They're going to go further than any cold calling or any of that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm focusing and pushing so hard in the YouTube world.
Yeah.
No, you guys are watching me take the struggles and put the sweat in and seeing the trials and the tears and all that today. I did not want to do it today. I came home to check on my dog and eat lunch, and I did not want to go back to the office and put these. I wanted to sit down and do nothing for an hour or two. And I was like, no, just go do it. Once it's done, you're going to feel better. And that was the one video that I posted, and he's had 506 views now.
Yay, little
So
Rocky.
it's just, you never know when it's going to be. And as a teacher, I used to tell my children, you always had that one student that said, ew, you're going to eat that? I always say, don't knock things till you try it. And don't knock it till you tried it. Well, I'm not going to try. Well, then you can't speak on it.
Yeah.
So yes, I felt like I couldn't say anything negative about YouTube until I've tried it. And now I think I'm going to like it in the long game.
Yeah.
But like I said, you guys are all in here, and a fellow teacher here, I'm learning.
Yeah.
And James Felt, I mean, he's being a lifesaver. He's telling me what I'm doing wrong. And I sent him a ton of videos today from Durham. I'm putting together a video on Durham and the Durham.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee he's going to be like, what did she do? And because that was the first one. And I've had those videos in my phone for over a month now.
Okay, so that's another like little segue that we can talk about. Like, so you're doing a video on Durham, and I'm sure. So, like, is there anything in specific, or just like Durham in general?
Just the growth in my favorite little areas, because Durham's got different districts, just like Raleigh.
So this is kind of like we're working backwards here. When we had Levi Lassick on, this is what he talked about. Like he said, he looked up, what everybody was searching in the Dallas area, and there's going to be people searching, that are
RDU
potentially moving to Durham and want to see like what it's about, and they're going to find your page or your video and be like, oh, here are some good places in Durham, and then they'll like see that, they'll see that you're a real estate agent, and then potentially use you because they see you being a resource and providing value and providing extra information about the neighborhood or like the town, the town of Durham, that versus other real estate agents that are just in there like, okay, you ready to buy or sell?
Yeah.
Come on, give me your money. Like,
no, I'm going to
providing value for people to reach out to you.
My favorite coffee shops on there. And I start out in one of the growing areas where I have a building, and I've had to get creative. I'm actually meeting with a developer this week on that, and they could potentially do a condo building there that I'll be a part of. And it's funny to think back 13 or 8 years ago. I've had my license officially 8 years as of February 15th of this. So it's
congrats.
My anniversary. So, and I look at when I was teaching, and that's one of the reasons why I'm writing the book, Teacher Turned Realtor. So
love it. We actually
done in April. So
you should message Felicia Renee.
Yeah, that's why I was telling her, Felicia, I got a book coming out, Teacher Turned Realtor. It just shows you the different avenues you can take, and there's options. So
yeah,
but yeah, like what you're saying, you should like Dallas and San Angelo. Like San Angelo, you said you had to learn it. I'm sure you probably know more about that area than people who has actually lived there.
Literally, yeah, it comes up all the time.
And you've actually walked the streets. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice too, like getting to know the businesses. Like for me, I guess another hack that I do, I love like meeting other entrepreneurs and just bouncing different ideas off of each other for marketing in our town. Yeah. And I've done a few little series of like, highlighting their business, and so that other people who are potentially moving to San Angelo or potentially don't know their business, they can learn about it. But then at the same time, usually that business ends up reposting whatever I post about them, and then their followers see it, and then it's more growth for people to see my content and see the value I'm putting out, and then they reach out to me. Like I've picked up a client before. I went to Pure Bar and posted a little like story that I was at Pure Bar, and she called me and was like, "Oh yeah, I saw like you were on the Pure Bar story, and I remembered that I needed a realtor soon, so I just reached out." I'm like, it's
You just
seriously,
never know where that person's gonna come from. And
yeah,
Natalie Dawson said other day on one of her podcasts, she said, um, once you've got yourself in the room, yeah, you're gonna get up, go through all the steps, and don't quote me on this. It's something to this extent. But once you get into the room, remember you are there to listen to the person in the front of the room. But at the end
mhm,
of the day, you're there to make new connections. And if you
yes.
leave a conference without making one new connection, you did something wrong and you wasted your money going to that conference.
Yeah.
You and
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it happened to be we knew the same people, but at the same time, you know, and now we got this referral network.
Yep.
So, mhm,
Love it.
so
Love it. Another thing that I feel like I've done, so just kind of on like volunteer and charity. You've done some charity stuff too, right? Recently? Or did I make
me,
that up? Yeah. Did I make that up?
well, I give to a ton of charities like Bunnies Buddies and things like that every year. If you follow me, you're going to see something with Bunnies on it. It's a charity to help dogs in Korea and China, and
Mm,
they've been a lifesaver with our little puppy mill dog. So,
yeah.
so yeah, I do give back to them, but
Yeah.
I
Well, and
am
that's
and I do usually a fund like I give back to my school I taught at every year at the end of the year. So
yeah. See, that's perfect. And then those people at the school like see you and they're like, that's just another reminder that you're in real estate, but at the same time, you're helping a charity you love and you're doing it in an authentic way where your genuine personality comes out and shines.
mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
so Felicia said, "Yes, I love that. I was in the loan doc and funding side of lending, and I've been longing to get into real estate. I found so many realtors in non-real estate venues. Location is key. Love it."
So yes,
Yeah.
would love to chat with you, Felicia. So
Yes, perfect.
mhm.
Yeah, so like for example, what I did recently, so one of my dogs, Gigi, I rescued her from a local um rescue place here, Cassie's Place, and I wanted to give out, give back to them in a way, but instead of like just doing money or, just foster, not just, those are good ways to help, but,
Mhm.
to also bring more awareness to both of our businesses, we held a Valentine's Day event together and had a bake sale at my off like we set it all out outside of my office. Um, they brought a bunch of dogs in that needed to be adopted. So it was like an adoption event. And then you could donate like beds or leashes or, whatever. And then they have little things like freshies of um, freshies are like little you they're like little air freshener things for your car. But
Yes.
they had them, like, in dog faces and stuff, so, like, I bought a Frenchie one for my car. They had a bake sale, so, like, any money they made from that went to, help their rescue. And then, at the same time, we're, like, helping people, rescue dogs and stuff. Like, one of my real estate attorneys, her daughter recently had a dog, pass away, so she w adopted one of the ones there. So that was awesome. But at the same time, like they're posting my information on their page, I'm posting their information on my page, and we're crossbreeding our fans on or followers on our pages. And it's I don't know, it's just kind of like
Making
killing
con
two birds with one stone.
making connections that could turn into
Yeah, and we got to meet a lot of people who came to the event, whether they adopted a dog or donated or not.
and you're
Got to
doing
meet
something
people
that's
who
near your
actually,
heart.
yeah, like volunteer at Cassie's Place, and we already know we have a mutual, connection of loving animals and wanting to help them get rescued. So, I don't know, it's just I think if you're, end up doing stuff that you are truly already passionate about, I just think it helps you.
It tracks.
Yeah, like it just your personality shines and that's how you, attract people into your sphere. Um
And most pet people, when they buy for their animal. I mean, we
I
fall
know, yeah,
for
millennials, I think
it.
that's what they said is like one of the trends for millennials buying based on their dogs.
You get a bigger dog, you're gonna need a bigger backyard.
Yes.
Look at Rocky's face or his page. You need more
I know,
space.
literally,
So, and
literally.
like us, we didn't wanna move him to a new house, so we bought a condo, big, nice dog house.
Yep, exactly.
And I've had people tell me, because Rocky's in my business cards, he's on everything of mine pretty much. "Well,
Mhm.
what if you have somebody that doesn't like dogs?" Well, that's a them thing, not a me thing.
Well, then they're probably a better fit for
Exactly. Mhm,
they're probably connecting with another agent that fits
mhm.
them better, like, there's enough business to go around. So,
Exactly, exactly. So
yeah. Any other hacks on your end?
the biggest thing is, what is it Grant says? "If they don't know you, they can't flow you." And
Yeah.
if you do things that you know you're passionate about, like you said, and means from the bottom of your heart, like you truly love it,
Mhm.
it's just going to work out. It is. So
Yeah,
if you get up and you put in the time and you do
yeah,
the work, things are just going to happen for you. It's hard to explain to
yeah.
people.
I feel like another big one for real estate agents is, like, I know a lot of real estate agents who have made, like, local mom groups. I guess you and I mean, we're dog moms, but it's different. Um, and I mean, we don't have this experience yet, but, I have a lot of friends that say, when you become a mom, you're like you get so busy, and I guess it's sometimes hard to make friends with other moms because
Mhm.
you have so much going on trying to
You
manage
feel
your own
excluded from
children,
the rest of the
and so
world.
they make these mom groups, like let's say a Facebook group, for example, and, you know, coming up with a solution for a need that a lot of people have like that, I think that's another great way to social sell, um, because you're fixing a problem, and then you get to network with those people, and then, it just naturally comes up, like, what you do.
Mhm.
Um, but that's another, like, just idea that I've heard from other people, and obviously I can't speak to it myself, but, um,
But there's
yeah.
a whole community of dog moms. So I go to the West Dog Street Bar. I actually picked up a new client this weekend. One
Love
of
it.
the people that worked there, she was, and then it led us into having a whole nother conversation about a business she's wanting to start. So it went from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And she was like, I merely thought of you, and everybody at the dog park mentioned you. And no, my dog does not play when he goes there. He sits in my lap or he hangs out with the people. And like one mom said, you didn't tell him he had to play with other dogs. You just said he had to socialize. So
Yeah.
you didn't specify dog or human. So, I mean, and then I've got two other people I'm working with from there. And I've got those connections. Yeah, the business means a lot to me because I have bills to pay. But at the end of the day, my dog has a new friend and I've got new friends. And two of the friends, they just moved here from Jersey. And here comes the train, 7 o'clock train.
Yep.
Yeah, and we went to Hempstead last week walking with our dogs, and we try to walk at least once a week and take the dogs on and try a new restaurant or try a new coffee place. And it's just something we're doing together. So,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
met
and
them at the dog park. So,
yeah, I feel like the big part of social selling is providing some sort of value for people,
mhm.
whether that be, real estate value or, just value in general, just helping people.
And people can tell genuine and not genuine. If you're there just for that check,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know, not to, excuse my French, but I think people's bullshit meters have definitely gone up in the past. I don't know, like, I guess social media and the way we interact with one another develops, and I'm sure, COVID has a play in this too. I
mhm.
just feel, the way we market to people
Yeah.
is a lot different now, and people wanna engage with people they know, like, and trust in what they buy, and it's like
Ron
like
Serhan,
the rise of influencers and stuff too, or
Ron
influencer
Serhan
marketing.
said each day he tries to call at minimum 5 people he hadn't touched base with in a while.
Mhm,
Just say, "Hey, how are you doing?"
mhm.
And or shoot them a text.
Well, and that's
It
like,
goes long ways.
yeah.
Like our
Well,
opening, I'm gonna invite a lot of my clients to that and just like, "Hey, we're opening this place." And it's funny, my clients like to support me, which you would think, you know, they spent money buying a house, but no, they wanna still come support. And that shows me I've done something right with those connections.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Love it.
So
I was gonna oh, well, no, it makes
who
me think
doesn't like
back to,
tequila?
when Andy Geisinger came on, and he says that he tries to never have a meal alone. So he's always out, like,
Andy, yes, 100%.
grabbing coffee with someone or, never eating lunch by himself. He goes and invites someone to lunch.
We should
Whether,
invite
like
everybody on and do a pizza party one night on here or a wine night.
yes, love it.
It's 5:30 your time, 6:30 my time. It's 5 o'clock
It's
somewhere.
happy hour time.
So, yeah, we should do that one, have like a maybe in March we could do it. So,
Yes, love it.
together. So,
I even think so I'm big in, like, Facebook groups too. Um,
I'm figuring that world out.
yeah, and that's when we had Marty Bahama on. Um, that's a little bit of, I feel like, a hybrid because I do reach out to people on there sometimes, depending on, like, stuff they post, but, um, you can have these different Facebook groups, like, like we said, for mom groups or dog
Yeah.
groups, anything like that. Um, but I think, again, it's the fact of posting value. And, like, if you have a real estate group, like, even posting, like, what do people like about real estate? Like, everybody's like, somewhat interested in it. It's because they like being nosy and looking at different houses and, what people have done to theirs, and, this is why we have the rise of HGTV and, shows like that. Um, I think it's still providing value when you're, like, doing home tours and stuff, and,
Exactly.
that's how I've had a lot of people reach out to me on social media too, is, posting. When I first got into real estate, I made it a mission to always, post, like, even if I wasn't showing to someone, I would go look up, like, vacant houses nearby. And actually what I would do, I would kind of make it more efficient. I would go on my afternoon walk, so I would be exercising, and
Uh-huh.
then I would map my route and see what vacant houses were available near me, and I would walk that way, and while I was on my walk, I would already have reached out to the listing agent and say, "Hey, can I go get a video, for social media of this house?" And go, take a home tour and put it on my story, and, that kind of built some credibility for me too,
Well,
because it
I've
looked like
noticed my
I was
yoga
busier than I
teachers.
was, and, like, that I was out there showing when maybe I wasn't, maybe I was.
And that's what Chris Jones, he talks about a lot of. I'm going to post my yoga teacher's house. And
Mhm.
no, it's nowhere close to me, but I'm still going to post it for her
Yeah,
just because A, it's going to help her, B, it's going to help the other agent, and C, it's going to help me. So
yeah,
at the end of the day. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Can you think of any other, things that you do for social selling?
My big thing is just putting stuff out there and doing it at the certain times, like first thing in the morning. That way it's
Yeah,
there all day long.
yes, so
Focusing
more
on the
people get views,
time
more
that
people.
I do my posts is very important. So,
Yeah.
and I was very proud of myself. I set up, I'm not proud of myself a lot this week with this whole YouTube thing. And
It's a
so
lot though, I'm proud of
set
you.
up one that be scheduled, and that one did really well. Like it was scheduled to come out at like midnight on Friday, and
Yeah,
it did really well. So, and it was nice because I didn't have to think about it. And that's where I'm trying to get. I'm getting James to put these together, and then I just schedule them to go up. So,
yes. Love it.
yep,
Well,
and
good.
using those correct hashtags. So,
Yes.
and I learned this hack from you is saving those hashtags. So all I do is copy and paste them now. So now I don't have
Yeah.
to go back and then I switch out a few every now and then. So
Yeah, and that's, I feel like even hashtags can kind of play into the social selling, because it broadens your reach of people. So,
Mhm.
for example, like in my hashtags that I use for, let's say for San Angelo, I'm doing a lot of Goodfellow Air Force Base, PCSing, um, GFAB, like things like that, so that I can pull in those people that are moving to San Angelo for, the military base here,
Mhm.
and they oftentimes find it through those hashtags. I've had people find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I don't think Twitter. I don't do. I'm not a big Twitter
I'm
person.
I'm figuring out Twitter. That's a new venture for me too. I'm
Yeah.
looking there.
Well, now they have like Twitter Spaces, and like I think that's kind
Mhm.
of taking over Clubhouse. Um, but yeah, I think that's another avenue. Like when you're thinking about your hashtags, instead of just doing like, I mean, obviously you want to do like
I feel like
San Angelo,
Clubhouse I
Texas,
don't
but I
know why.
think
It was
like
like one hit wonder.
putting in like so like Wall Hawks, that's one of the schools here, or like San Angelo ISD. Like think about things that people are searching when they're moving to your area potentially, and like
I told this to a client. I've had 2 clients, one from Washington State, got them under contract last
mhm,
week. They're moving to New Bern, and I have another one from New Jersey that's moving down here, and they're like, "Well, we homeschool, so schools aren't important." That's not necessarily true. If you go to resell, your next family that buys that house may have a kid, and those schools, it's gonna be very important. So that's something
yes,
to think
just
about.
because it's not important to you, yeah, doesn't mean
Yeah.
won't affect you in the long run when you go to sell.
Yes. So,
Yeah, that's a good one.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are the school like the Broughton, I think I remember, or
We have Broughton High School here. We have Wiley, which it's an international magnet school. I'm obsessed. Very good. Then you have Hunter. It's a very technology based school. And you have
mhm.
Underwood, which is a magnet school.
Yeah, so those are, like, some hashtags you could throw in there, or even, like, for me, like, one of the big attractions of San Angelo is Lake Nasworthy, so I put Lake Nasworthy in there, or,
Mhm.
like, downtown San Angelo, so you could put, like, you know, Glenwood District or something,
Yeah.
like, kinda
Mhm.
depending on what you're posting, but, um, I think a lot of I guess what I'm trying to say, I think a lot of social selling is thinking about what the person, your target avatar, as they say, like the person you're would want ideally to buy or sell to.
Mhm.
What are they searching? Like, what information are they searching on your area, and how can you provide value in that avenue?
Yep.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yep, it does. So,
So, like Levi's posting like best restaurants in Frisco, Texas. He's like this was an example he said because Frisco, Texas was one of his top searches he figured out, or one of the top searches for
mhm.
the DFW Metroplex. So that's where he comes in and does like a video on best restaurants there because so many people are searching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to figure out you know, what those keywords are. And he talks about this Teletubby or I was trying to find the name of it. There's a thing that you can type in words and see the top searched words
Yes,
right
he
now.
talked about it on our show, and I can't
Yeah,
remember now what.
Teletubby. I've got it on mine, and James talked about it too. Tube Buddy, Teletubby.
Dude, buddy, yeah.
Teletubby used to be those cartoon characters that had those things on their head and they
I'll
sang.
put it in the banner.
Tube Buddy. But you can type in a word. There's a way to share my screen. I could show you real quick.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go to present.
Yeah. Present, share screen. Here we go. Let's see if
Woot
it works.
woot.
Um, is it sharing?
No.
She didn't share. Select that.
I think
Window.
you click present and then share screen.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's present, share screen. Don't show these tips again. Okay, and share tab audio. Uh, Share. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. So how do I get out of this? I'm not a good person to probably represent this. This would be a James thing. But at the corner right here, you see I have this little thing here. I got
Yes.
2 new subscribers today, actually.
Nice.
So I'm excited. And this is like Rocky's thing. I can click on it. And yeah, it did have a little box up there, the dashboard, and you can see how many, like your analytics, current +2 in the last 28 days. Views are up 534. And then it just breaks down things. And then you have another thing right here where you can type in keywords.
Yeah.
Keyword Explorer. And these are the words that are trending. If you type one of these words in, you're going to get like tons of.
So maybe you could start typing in like Raleigh or something though.
Let's try it. I did 10x the other day because it had a bunch of stuff. Explore. And then it gives you, it breaks it down. See, poor. It's kind of excellent. It's poor in competition, but search volume, it's excellent.
Type in Dallas. How about that? Let's do that. So these are like the keywords in the.
So it's.
Oh, but if you look on the right, it tells you.
Yeah, different words to Dallas Cowboys.
What people are looking at. Maybe type in like DFW.
Okay.
Let's see that.
That one's good. Not bad.
So people are looking at DFW airport, the weather. So maybe like based on that, you can do like, what is DFW weather like? Or what is weather like? What is the weather like in Raleigh?
We typed in RDU. We'll see. See, it's not the best, but it's better than other things.
Well, try Raleigh.
Raleigh did real good the other day for some reason.
I know. Well, I'm just looking at what
it maybe can change daily is the thing.
Yeah.
So see, it's
yeah.
Let's do RDU Airport. They said RDU Airport. And see what comes up. Yeah, not too bad. So let's type in the name of the new bar and see what comes up. No, I'm just down. I just went down. But anyways, you can not too bad. Adam, Split's got not such a bad. It says poor, but it's better than a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, monthly searches is 15.8. Number of videos searched 46.2 million. Not too bad. So, anyways, that's what that little app does for you, and you can sign up for a free one, which is what I did. So mine doesn't do as much as other people. So
love it.
And then it nominates your latest comments and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And it just tells you how you're doing. I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh, stop.
Yep, there we go. Cool. So I'm gonna put up, if you're interested in seeing, how we're kind of social selling, I'm gonna put you can follow us. Those are our Instagram handles, but then also like mine, Facebook is facebook.com/Hallie's Homes.
Yeah.
And I think
you can also message us on there as well. So.
Yeah. Love it. Well, I think that's all
That's all I got.
All I had to say for today on social selling.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions on anything that we talked about, feel free to send us a DM.
Yeah, Felicia, feel free to send a message if you've got questions. Yes. So
I know
we always say in my book when it comes out.
Teachers make the best real estate agents, we say.
Realtors. So.
Because you're already used to educating people and being patient in that process. So
yes,
love it. Okay, so big news. Next Monday we have on Sharon Lechter. I'm so excited. She's like one of my idols. If you don't know who Sharon Lechter is, she has won 1,000,001 awards for helping with financial literacy in the United States. She is the author of a lot of different books, but probably the most famous one being the co-author on Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mhm.
She also did the women's version of Think and Grow Rich. And she also, like a bunch of the Napoleon Hill books, she's done like updated versions where they'll like talk about, or the book will be she kind of breaks down what's going on.
Mhm.
Because a lot of it is like, I think it was written in like 1930s. And then she
Mhm.
kind of puts it in today's like layman terms.
Yeah.
Um, and she is now on real estate. Real estate is one of her favorite assets to buy and hold and buy and sell.
Mhm.
Assets are sexy is her,
That's her thing.
tagline.
They are.
But yeah, I mean, look her up on Instagram. She's huge, absolutely huge. Um, so I'm just really excited. I can't believe we actually got her.
I
So
can't.
I
What kind
can't,
of
you know what? You're right. But she just is
kind
such
of
a
a big deal, okay?
yeah, she's a big deal, and I'm just like so thankful that she's making the
And
time
so
for
are
it.
we. You
Yes.
guys send into the guy rally. So
Yes. Yeah, so next week you will not want to miss that.
yes, it's gonna be good. So
Yay.
yay.
Um, yeah, so we'll see you guys same time next week with Sharon Lecter. If you have any questions that you want us to ask her, feel free to message them to us. And as always, we hope you have a good evening and we
Have a
look forward to next week.
happy Monday and have a great fabulous week. Go
Yay.
make it productive.
Love it.
And
Thank
you
you
can always
guys.
message us and let us know what you did in your social media world this week.
Yeah,
Whatever
any good tips, we'll share them on social media too.
tips. And if you use any of the ones we used today, send us a little message and let us know which ones you used. So
Love
tag us in it
it.
as you're using it. So feel free to tag.
Awesome.
Okay. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.